Eagles. But joining me now is Mark Thompson, host of Make It Plain on Sirius XM. Mark, talk to me about what happened here at this meeting. Read between the lines of this joint statement for us.
Well, thank you for having me, Casey, and congratulations on your new show.
Thank you. You're very kind.
First of all, it looks as if they're at somewhat of a standstill, but it's a standstill over not really anything. The owners have to know, and I think fans know, that players are not taking a knee to protest the anthem, the flag, or the military at all. They are kneeling, taking a knee in what is really a reverent position to give a moment of silence and thoughtful reflection to some of the social justice issues that are still ongoing here in this country. Colin Kaepernick first took a knee because of police violence. Police violence goes on. In fact, there's even a big conference in Atlanta this weekend surrounding police violence. Other injustices continue to happen. A close colleague and friend and a fellow activist, Colin Kaepernick, Tamika Mallory, was snatched off an American Airlines, kicked off of an American Airlines plane on Sunday night for no reason as an African-American woman in an act of aggression by a pilot. So all of these things still keep happening to African Americans disproportionately, and it's worse when Jerry Jones and Donald Trump say players ought to be punished or kicked off the team for exercising what are legally their First Amendment rights. The Supreme Court ruled, I believe, in the 40s that one cannot be made to do any particular thing with regards to respecting the flag. Not to mention, Casey, Donald Trump is a walking contradiction every day, and I think you know that as well as anyone else.
Yeah, he has, in this case, succeeded, it seems, in changing the conversation. I mean, as you note, we're now talking about the flag and the military as opposed to what started all of this. Well,
and he's succeeded once again in dividing the country and exploiting the issue. When it was revealed that he doesn't even know what he's talking about, he was on with Sean Hannity last week, and at the end of when they were on their military base, at the end of the military duty day, they play Retreat as the Flag is Lowered. He didn't know what it was. He thought the song was for him, or the song was to celebrate Sean Hannity's ratings. He showed his own then irreverence for the flag and that military ceremony. So he's exploited it. He has blown it up. But I'd like to be optimistic and think that the fact that talks are still ongoing from today, that there's still an opportunity to come to some understanding about allowing players to do precisely what they want to do. And quite frankly, the NFL does also need to come to grips with the reality that most people who are fans who have a problem with the NFL and this policy are still disturbed that Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. And I know many support his efforts now. I believe he intends to take legal action against the NFL owners for collusion. Remember now, it was never in writing in Major League Baseball that African Americans couldn't play. It was a gentleman's agreement. That's where the term gentleman's agreement comes from. It looks like there's a similar gentleman's agreement collusion. Yeah, that's the allegation. It appears that there's a similar gentleman's agreement and collusion with regards to the NFL owners and Colin Kaepernick. And he ranks amongst the quarterbacks that we have now, some of whom are getting hurt. That's what happens in football. Quarterbacks get injured. He ranks in the top 20 or 25. So he ought to be still considered. I know many people would still like to see that happen.
And Mark, we didn't even get to talk about the NBA, which is the next turn in this story, but hopefully we'll do it again next time.
Sorry.
Mark Thompson, host of Make It Plain on Sirius XM Progress. Thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And coming up, the president says his nominee for drug czar has pulled himself out of